it's me, Katie. Welcome back to Still the Spotlight. First of all, very sorry for randomly going MIA. Not intended whatsoever. I felt like I was on a really good roll there and then bam. You know, mental health can be very unpredictable and kind of ties into today's video because when I'm going through these kind of episodes, I love a good comfort watch, and for me, one of my top ones is always going to be Gilmore Girls, specifically the first 3 seasons for some reason. Considering how many times I've actually watched this show, it's kind of insane that I haven't already done a video on it, but I guess my style does lean more on the maximalist side, whereas this is a little bit more subdued. But a little while ago, I did a whole video on Friends fashion, which was also outside my comfort zone in this sense, so I thought maybe Gilmore Girls would be another good one, especially with the downtown girl aesthetic going around at the moment and lots of reference images of early Rory Gilmore. Plus, since a lot of you are in the northern hemisphere, this felt like the perfect timing because they are the style queens of fall winter fashion. If you've also been looking to indulge in a bit of binge viewing recently but can't quite find what you're looking for, I think today's video sponsor will come in handy, which is award-winning VPN Surfshark. So when it comes to streaming services such as Netflix, the version you see can be completely different to someone on the other side of the world, but with Surfshark you're able to quickly and easily change those location settings and instantly have access to a ton more content. This way there's always something to watch no matter what you're in the mood for, from anime to K-dramas, iconic films. There really can be something for everyone because Surfshark actually offers unlimited devices under just one account. Of course, that's only a small amount of the many benefits on offer, like ensuring your privacy and safety online by protecting all of your personal information. During November and December, you can use my code SPOTLIGHT, which will get you 85% off plus 3 extra months for free. And since Surfshark offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, you can try it all risk-free via the link on screen and down below in the description box. Just a snippet of that intro and immediately I'm feeling more calm, I'm feeling more comfortable, and it doesn't just end there. The entire show has a very cozy feel to it. I think this is in large part thanks to the fact that majority of the show does take place over fall and winter, with the breaks being through summer. Despite there being 7 seasons worth of material to choose from, some of the most reshared Rory Gilmore outfits actually come from the very first episode. Her style in this short period before attending private school, whilst not drastically different, does have just a slightly different feel to it. Still simple everyday wear, but a little bit less on the goody two-shoes side. For example, this first outfit is a very close recreation, but still isn't something that would come to my mind if I was asked to describe Rory's aesthetic. The docks and tights combo paired with the oversized outerwear feels a little bit edgier than what we typically see her in, and seems more fitting for a sort of indie cool girl character. Of course, still a great fit nonetheless though, so I had to include it. The chokehold this cozy cable knit sweater has had on the fandom is insane. Literally 22 years later and we are still on the hunt for the perfect oversized option at the thrift stores. Luckily for me, my search came to an end a few years ago when I found this one. An absolute autumn staple. I reach for it every time the season rolls back around. I think the denim jacket she's holding in the reference picture is actually Lane's while she's getting changed, but I thought it was still a cute addition to the outfit as well. Plus, it's something we do see her in multiple times moving forward. Another little executive decision I made was the possibility of adding this necklace. I think it still works very well with the aesthetic and the time frame of the show, but most importantly, I just love a good accessory. Oh, I forgot to mention, but I'm not just splitting this up into characters, but also the aesthetics and styles that they like to dabble in. So now I am turning to Lorelai Gilmore for what I like to refer to as her smart business casual sort of moments. Like, she could wear it to a more casual day of work, but also she could wear it elsewhere without feeling like she needed to get changed. I'm not even gonna lie, despite having zero experience with this sort of styling, I feel like I've actually nailed it. You know, we have the belted business pant with the heeled boots. The sleeveless turtleneck is so Lorelai, you cannot convince me otherwise. Although the look is fairly simple, just left as is, I think it's still very effective. However, the thing about Lorelai is if you give her an opportunity to layer and accessorize, she can come up with something a little bit more creative and fun. So I decided to throw on this long line denim jacket straight from the early 2000s. I think the wash on this perfectly complements the colors we already had going on, and that distressed hem adds the casual we were looking for. Then topping it off with the winter accessories just injects that playful energy that she has.
Another one of my favorite examples of this is when she teams a graphic tee under a fitted blazer. And I mean, I think we need to take a moment for this blazer in particular because it looks like something that would come straight out of her wardrobe. The pattern detailing on the lapels and cuffs, and then bam, you turn around, it only gets better with the little corset detail. I wanted to keep the party going, so I tried out the skinny scarf and also this printed bag. I think it just might be hitting the brief perfectly as I'm a cool mum in the year 2000. I mean, come on, my t-shirt literally says 100% ass kicking babe. Okay, we have a slight switch of gears here. We're dropping the smart and just going for plain old casual. Things we see her in at home or going to get coffee without any other plans. This outfit in particular is a favorite of mine as a sucker for both animal print graphics and pastel color palettes. It's incorporating two items that I would consider staples when it comes to building a Gilmore Girls inspired wardrobe, these cute little zip up hoodies and the mid-rise bootcut jeans. Actually, you can just add the next layer into that mix as well because I believe it's season 2 we see her rocking this blue puffer jacket a lot. Mine's from YesStyle and it's actually really good quality. I will have all the links and info to everything I wear in the description box, so if you see anything that's of interest to you, just check that out. Just going to be continuing on with the classic concept of jeans and a t-shirt because as you can see, it pops up fairly frequently. I know the proportions of my outfit are a little bit off since I've got high-waisted jeans rather than low-rise, but I really wanted to team them with this baseball tee because it felt so Lorelai. Once again, teaming it with one of these little zip-up hoodies and also adding this denim bandana. We do see her wear bandanas a few times in her casual looks and I thought that this one just worked perfectly in this fit. And although blue tones are definitely a Gilmore Girls signature, we do see Lorelai wear quite a bit of red, particularly in these casual looks, so I did a slight variation here as well. I wasn't sure if I preferred it with the jeans or switching out for more of a low-rise cargo pant. Either way, I knew I had to throw in a crossbody bag to take with me as I head off to Luke's diner. Oh yeah, and because I am just insanely indecisive, here is another variation on the outfit. I thought that this more fitted zip-up denim jacket just created a different vibe to the look. Of course, I had no choice but to break out the flannel and attempt Luke Danes' uniform. My version ended up feeling more like Lorelai inspired by Luke, I think just because we have the more slim fitting base. But we still have the must-haves, the check shirt, the cap. I don't think it suits me backwards, so I'm just wearing it normally. And then also, if there's an option for an extra layer, I'm gonna be taking it. And I feel like we do see him in these kind of parka jackets quite often. Sometimes a vest as well, but this is what we're working with today. We could have gone for blue, brown, red, whatever flannel you have really. I stuck with green because, I don't know, it just reminds me of someone who likes fishing and camping, you know? Since a lot of the time we spend with Rory in the early season, she is in her Chiltern uniform, I wanted to do my own version on it as well. At first it was just too simple for my liking. I mean, it legit looks like I am off to school, so I guess it was kind of hitting the brief in some sense. And obviously the dress code would be very strict there, but sometimes when she's back in Stars Hollow, she might add an extra scarf, beanie or outerwear layer. So that's where I decided to take my inspo and then run with it by just combining all three at once. I really liked the idea of sticking to all blue but just having different textures and patterns. Does it still look like a uniform? Yeah it does, but at least it has a little bit more personality to it. I think it's about time we dive into Rory's love interest. Of course, we're talking about the big three, Dean, Jess, Logan. Let me know who your pick is. I feel like it's pretty universal that nobody really likes Dean. You know, the writers kind of did him dirty. In the first 2 episodes, there may have been potential, but that was quickly squashed. The key themes I see in his style is layering t-shirts and sweaters. Of course, the long line leather jacket is an absolute essential. And then I feel like he can wear jeans or cargos. Honestly, if I grew a foot taller and my hair was even greasier than it already is, I think this would be spot on. Moving on to everyone's favorite reformed bad boy, Jess Mariano. Definitely my pick of the 3, although I will give an honorable mention to Tristan. I feel like he had real potential, and in my opinion, that is Chad Michael Murray's peak role. He definitely suits this much better than like the broody type they kept casting him in after. But back to Jess, he has a very timeless style. I feel like you could cast this character in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and even today, and no one would really blink an eye at his wardrobe. There's a lot of banties, denim, leather, and everything has that effortless feel to it that 2014 Tumblr would eat up. Not gonna lie, it doesn't really align with my personal style, but even I think I look kind of cool in this shot, no? Logan, I neither like nor dislike per se. I feel like he has his moments. Style-wise, his isn't as instantly recognizable and kind of less defined in my mind at least. Obviously, it's going to have more of an expensive luxe feel to it, so opting for blazers rather than denim jackets. But considering how wealthy and prestigious his family's supposed to be, he kind of dresses a little bit daggy. Since I was so unsure, I ended up doing two slight variations. The first one features this Henley tee. Definitely a casual piece we see him wear, but I tried to elevate it a little bit by layering the turtleneck underneath and opting for this knit cardigan. I think my preferred option though is just stripping back to the turtleneck and adding the blazer, very similar to something he wore to Rory's birthday. It still felt a little bit bland for me, so I tried it on with this scarf. I was hoping I'd kind of get away with this being Yale colors so it would somehow make sense, but I don't know. Next, I want to talk about Lane and the absolute travesty it is that the writing team seemingly just paid her dust. I get that it was out of their control that they lost the best love interest in the show when Dave had to leave Stars Hollow to become Seth in the OC. But come on, my girl deserved a better replacement than this. I feel like they kind of did her dirty in the wardrobe department as well. Yes, she has some great looks, but there was so much more they could have explored, particularly once she was free of the Kim household. Thankfully, at some points, we do get to see her as that effortless, cool, early 2000s indie girl, and I think this outfit would be a good representation of that. I know Emily the Strange might be a little bit on the cringe side, but at one point we do see her use an Emily the Strange sticker on Rory's cast, so I thought that was a cool little nod. I also thought the rainbow striped scarf would be a fun addition to represent her youthfulness. I do wish I had the double pom-pom beanie that would totally bring it all together. Of course, we do also see Elaine living her best Christian girl autumn life under Mrs. Gibbs' influence. For me, this manifests in the cutest grandma cardigans and sweaters. I thought this floral one teamed perfectly with another Lane Kim staple, the corduroy pants and chunky shoes. Rory is also no stranger to wearing an old-fashioned cardigan, so I put this look together, again keeping in mind the Gilmore Girls' love for wearing blue. I could have gone all in and worn jeans as well, but I opted for these pale beige cargos, which I think makes it more wearable, at least for me, especially once we top it off with the beanie and the puffer jacket. I'm actually surprised by how much I love this look. I just think it's adorable. If it is a bit too cutesy for your personal taste, there's some quick switches you can make. I tried removing the cardigan by adding the scarf, but you could strip it back even further, just keep it really simple. Imagine I had a pair of AirPod Maxes on with this outfit. Suddenly I'm on Pinterest with the hashtag Akubi fashion, which low-key I've been really into, so let me know if you want a full video on that because I could almost do like a capsule wardrobe sort of situation. Another absolute must-have in Rory's closet is stripes, and this is the constant throughout the entire show. At first I decided to pair them with another pair of cargos. Again, jeans would have been fine though. I just really liked how it drew the green out of the top. Because of that, I decided to stick to a more earthy tone for my jacket choice as well, and we do see Rory wear quite a similar brown jacket on multiple occasions. A very comfy, casual look. I did try dressing it up a little bit by changing it out for a cargo mini skirt instead. Obviously not something we would see her in the early seasons, but totally something that she would rock in the college years. I think it turned out really cute. I love the addition of the satchel bag and also going for the frilly socks and chunky loafer combo. I don't think that's necessarily how she would have styled it, probably more so boots, but you'll see more of that combo later on when we really dive into Rory's college outfits. If there's one thing about Paris is that she loves herself a good turtleneck, and girl, same. Low-key kind of coming for Rory's brand when she wears this blue one, but I really wanted to recreate it because I love how it looks with this coat. Both of these pieces are thrifted from the 2000s, and it feels like a really accurate representation of what people would have been wearing at the time. I don't know, I could be wrong, but it's just the sort of thing I could picture my mum wearing at the time if she was going out for dinner in winter. But for a more casual effect, I also tried it on with this little fleece jacket, which I don't know, I think this one definitely is leaning even more on the Rory side of things, but if I add on the satchel bag, I think that still keeps it in Paris territory. I also wanted to do an outfit based on what she might wear on a date, especially in the early seasons when she'd turn to Rory for help. First of all, a moment for this color. I don't even know what to call it, but she is absolutely stunning. The flowers on the skirt matching perfectly to the sweater just makes me so happy. Styling it with Mary Jane's is definitely something I would do, but I could also see Paris wearing it. Apparently I'm just the queen of giving options today, so here it is with a lace cardigan. In theory, I really like the idea, but as you can see, the color isn't a perfect match, so now I'm just less happy. Although, you know what, I didn't let that stop me from trying to restyle it one more time, because it was also kind of giving Lorelai Friday night dinner vibes as well. To really play that up, I unbuttoned the cardigan, opted for these under the knee boots, added a statement necklace, and switched out the crossbody bag for a shoulder bag instead. I like it, but I still think we could do better, so this is my other option for Friday night dinner attendance. We still have the dress hitting at knee length, of course, but I just think that the shape is more on brand for Lorelai. I really love the effect of these 2000s dresses that have a more vibrant lining and then layer the black mesh over the top to tone it down. Obviously, I had no choice but to go for a fully matching moment by opting for the red cardigan. There's even red gems in my necklace, and then also, if the weather allowed for an extra layer, I have this gorgeous red velvet coat. Can you not just picture her getting out of the Jeep and waiting at the front door in this outfit? Because I definitely can. But of course, we can't have her braving dinner by herself, so this is my outfit for Rory. My mum actually thrifted this dress for me, and honestly, I could not believe how bang on it was for the brief. Similar to Lorelai, you have to keep the dress at least knee length, but unlike her more fitted silhouette, I feel like Rory often has quite a full skirt, and the embroidery on this one is just gorgeous. I could spin around in it all day. Since the thread is cream, it inspired me to bring out the pearls, and to keep that sort of innocence to the look, I also brought back the Mary Janes. So I know we already tackled smart casual, but I really wanted to circle back to more of Lorelai's work looks, particularly this one. I feel like it's another one of those ones that is constantly reshared. And you know what? For good reason, because she is out here girl bossing in her sweater vest glasses combo. Unfortunately, I didn't have a patterned red vest that worked. I thought it was more important to stay true to the fitted shape. So instead I tried to add a bit more texture by switching to this leather skirt, which also isn't outside of Lorelai's wheelhouse. If you haven't tried out teaming the midi length skirt with under the knee boots, I'm telling you, you are missing out. There is just this feeling it gives you that I can't quite put my finger on, but Lorelai was definitely a champion of the pencil skirt in general, so I wanted to try out another look. I recently thrifted this skirt and I am in love. It's just a nice subtle twist on a basic. I think the styling here took it more into date night sort of territory, which I'm not mad at. I like the more off the shoulder sort of top with the statement necklace, but you could totally switch it out for a button down if you wanted to keep it more workwear appropriate. She did still have a classic trousers and blouse combo, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this would definitely be office approved while still looking cute. The dainty floral top and the knit vest are actually a good old all-in-one, but I love it, especially the little tie detail. If you wanted to spice things up on your commute to work or coffee run, I think that a colored coat is a really good option. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but there is purple throughout the floral pattern, which is why I opted for the pale purple coat and then the darker purple accessories with the beanie and scarf. Oh my goodness, I feel like if I had brown hair, I legit look like Lorelai Gilmore right now. Like, come on. I feel like Suki's style is often sadly underrated, maybe because we do see her in her chef uniform quite often, but when she's out and about, let me tell you, she has one of the most iconic long cardigan collections you could possibly imagine. I'm just so in love with this one at the moment, and I do think it would feel right at home in Suki's wardrobe as well. Actually, it kind of just hits the wider brief of quirky friend trope. I could totally see this on Phoebe or Willow as well. Also very happy to be able to break out this denim midi skirt. It's a nice change of pace compared to the pants and Lorelai's pencil skirts. 10 out of 10 would recommend. We'll definitely be wearing this again. Another trend that was big at the time and has been circling back this year is the infamous dress over pants, which is why I wanted to take inspo from this particular look. We see so many outfits featuring jeans in this show, but I think this might just be my favorite. It's just so playful and fun with the silhouette, but also the pattern clashing. Although she wasn't wearing one with this outfit, I couldn't do Suki looks and not include a bandana. It's an absolute signature. I think overall the reason I'm appreciating this one so much at the moment is because it has more of that springtime vibe to it, which is the season season I'm currently in. I really like that the stylists were able to be a little bit more experimental with Rory's outfits once she entered college, but at the same time still staying true to the personal style they had already developed. We started seeing her in skirts and tights more, which previously was something we never really saw outside of her uniform, which just so happens to be one of my favorite combos, so I was very excited for this look. I stuck to all neutrals and still tried to keep it really casual with the inclusion of the Henley t-shirt and of course the Ugg boots. It's kind of hard to find footage of her in them, but I swear it exists, perhaps just in a darker shade than the ones that I have. But this is the sort of thing I would still expect to be popping up on my Pinterest board this season. Don't get me wrong, she definitely still enjoyed wearing pants, and we saw her in a lot of these soft baby pink tones, which is what I was trying to emulate here. I always think this color pops the most when paired with brown, so hence the trouser choice. However, I will say these are a little bit too straight leg for my liking. I would have preferred a more true boot cut, but overall this is very simple and sweet. 100% could see her wearing this, particularly the top. The more I look at this one, the more unsure I am as to whether it belongs here or it would have been better suited to Lorelai's smart casual looks. I don't know, let me know what you think. Either way, it belongs in the show somewhere, especially the sweater. I was really drawn to the higher cut V neckline, and actually I think that's the reason it landed in the Rory pile originally. I thought the concept of combining the thicker horizontal stripes in the sweater against the vertical pinstripes in the pants was really cool, and this video was sorely lacking belts, so I think this was the perfect way to break it up. Now at first glance, this might not feel like an authentic Rory Gilmore outfit, and you probably would be correct, but hear me out, because I feel like this is if they pushed her just to the next level and she actually learned how to serve, this is what we could have had. You can see what I'm saying, right? And if not, my apologies, but you can't blame me. This outfit looks so cute, I had to include it. I honestly feel like I could keep going forever with these outfits, but I'm gonna put an end to it here. Let me know whose style you are vibing with the most, and if there's another series you'd like to see a deep dive into like this. Don't forget to check out the description box before you leave for all the links and good stuff, including the awesome deal from today's video sponsor, Surfshark. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I see you really, really soon. Bye!